picture. There you
Yeah.
go. How are you,
Hey,
beautiful?
I'm fine. How are you?
First, I want to apologize. Thank you so much for being patient with me, but I couldn't help the flight being delayed. I thought we was gonna be here on time. So
Listen,
thank you.
I've been through that already, plenty of times, so I understand.
Thank you so much
I
for
was
being
right
patient.
anyway, but that gave me time to cook and do some other stuff, so it was cool.
I'm so excited to talk to you, lady. First of all, okay, if y'all don't know who this lady to the right of me is, this is the famous author of them Zoo Boys.
I'm
Why you
regular.
playing on our Why are you playing on our tops like that?
I'm regular. I'm That's so funny.
Listen, when I tell you, let's get into it. Let's just go get in. Let's just start with the Zoo Boys and we'll work other stuff in. Ma'am,
Yes.
why my head hurt?
Not your hair. I
Why you
am
got my
weak.
head hurt? My pressure high. I was screaming and howling. I said, Lord, Chevy got to make it. What's going on? Why Zara got to keep getting kidnapped? And if y'all don't know, these are some spoilers in here. So if y'all haven't read it, I'm sorry. But I need to know I have some questions.
Listen, I hear so much chit chatter about Zaria. Like they be over her. They be like, why does she continue to be saved? Like she need a tracker, and my good sis need a what they say, a buddy to travel with her. Like I'm like, don't play with
I was like, well, put some air tags in her hair
me.
or something.
Listen, all of it. I get it all, everything. I'm like, poor Zaria,
I
but
just
at the
don't see her.
end, she there for a reason, you know. So she
I
trying to
just
help. She trying to help somebody.
can I ask a question?
Hmm.
In Chevy's book, am I gonna be heartbroken? Or can you not say
Uh,
that? I'm gonna be heartbroken.
I can't say it. I know people want to
So
know.
that
I
God damn it,
listen.
I'm
I
about to
get.
be sliding down all the walls.
Somebody asked me. She said, "How many boxes of tissue we gonna need for Chevy's butt?" I said, "Y'all is so dramatic. Y'all are so dramatic. I
Oh
don't know. You
yes.
might not need no tissue. I don't want to
Listen,
spoil it.
I'm about to be on the wall, slide. I just have a feeling. I'm preparing myself. Listen, I got some knee pads ready. I
I'm
got
weak.
my biofreeze ready from my back because I'm sure I'm gonna bump up against somebody's door.
I didn't now what I didn't expect was I mean, I knew it was emotional, but with Utopia, I did not expect so many people to say that they cried. Like they was like, bro, I was crying so bad. And I'm like, I did expect y'all to be like emotional, but as far as like crying, but Zoo Book was it was an experience.
First of all, my little feeling, I shed a tear too.
You did. You
I
shed a
did.
thug tear.
But you know what? Listen, my friends say I'm emotional anyway. So
Hmm.
anytime somebody do something, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna shed a tear. I'm not gonna. I'm trying not to put it on camera, but they be getting me. They be getting me.
Aw.
They be getting me. I be
I love them
listen all in
boys.
my feelings all the time. But yes, ma'am. When I tell you, okay, so let's start at the beginning. So Zoo Boys, what is it? Chaotic.
Street Chaos.
Street. Yes, that book moved so fast. That was the only downfall I had.
But it's
It moved real fast.
crazy. Some people said it's slow.
It moved fast for me. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Some people said it was moving slow. I was like, listen.
But you
But that's
said
normally
it.
how I ride. All gas, no brakes. Except for Chevy's book. Chevy book, it is slowed down. So I will tell you that. It's not as like even with the other ones with Faux book, how it's just like boom, 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 boom. Chevy book is definitely slowed down. I wanted to give the girls something to savior. You know, it won't be so quick. You know what I mean? So it is slowed down.
Okay, so one question that I do have is how much older is Chevy over everybody?
So Chevy is the oldest. Chevy would be, I could tell you this, but because I've already said that he has a birthday coming up, which is
Okay.
very important. But Chevy is 36.
Okay.
So
And
his
Zara,
birthday, he'll be 30. Yeah, no, he's turning 36.
Azaria is how old?
She's in her 30s, so she's like 31, 32. She's
So
not
they
that
age
old. She's not that
appropriate.
young. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The youngest person is Preach, and Preach is like 26, 27. I think I mentioned it in his book. He's not. He's the youngest,
Preach said.
Other than Dio, but we all know Dio's just 18. Dio is
Preach
the
said,
youngest
let
character.
me pray for you before I slay you. Take your life.
Oh, thank
I said,
you. We
what
appreciate
kind of
it.
foolishness is this?
Preach is off the chain. He been quiet. Like he been pretty quiet in the other books. Only because I just when I'm writing the other books, I try not to take away too much from whoever that book is focused on. And I know if it's a character that's really like popular, such as Preach, if I put
Mhm.
too much in there, the girl is you're gonna be focused on Preach. You're not gonna really be focused on the person that I'm writing about. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Preach. He was to me, he was my wild card. People think that Diamond is the wild card, but to me, I feel like he was the wild card because I didn't really know how I wanted to move around with him.
When I tell you, okay, the trigger warnings sent me all the way down the street and back.
I love
He
my trigger
said, these
warning.
are some real niggas. They like fucking and smoking and doing all.
Everything. I was like, because in my other books, I did trigger warnings, but with the Zoo Boys, I really wanted to be creative. Like, I get people now that go to my older books, like, do we got visuals? Do we got da da da? Because I didn't do any of that with them. So as I went into the Zoo Boys, I started getting, that's when I really just got creative. I was like, I can do whatever I want in my book, so this is what I'm going to do. And then when I started off with the first book, the introduction, and I did those trigger warnings. And then when I went into Preach book, I said I want to do something different. I don't want to do it the same. So that's how I came up with the concept. That's why each of them have something different. Like Diamonds was like a whole fairy tale, like rhyme type thing. I love Diamonds trigger warning. His is
So
one of
I
my
was trying to go
favorites.
to Diamond Land too.
Diamond was my favorite trigger warning, but I love it. I love for it to be creative. I want to basically when you guys open a book or you open your Kindle, I want you guys to have like a full experience. That's where the visuals come in and all of that. So I want to give like the full experience when reading because I used to be a reader. You know what I mean? I think about the things that I would like to see in a book if I was reading a book. Everybody's not into it. Some people do like the old school method where they like to use their imagination, which is cool. And, no press. There was a time where they didn't have trigger warnings, but this is the way I do it. So, and I enjoy it. I like it. Y'all like it. I like it.
I love the trigger warnings. I love the first page in orange because orange is my favorite color.
Oh, it is.
I know you got a little backlash from that. You want to speak to that?
God already knew. No, it's so funny because I was literally just talking to my sister and she was reading she's tried to read the book because the physical copies are all orange. So this is after I decided to make the change, but I was getting like ratings just off of the orange color. I can't get past the orange. And I'm just like, I debated it. I debated if I was going to go back and change it like the first book. But then I was like, no, because this is what sets me apart from everybody else. I'll make a compromise to those that I know that sometimes the orange can be conflicting with like vision and stuff. And then that's when I went into doing just the first chapter of each chapter orange, just that first page, so that way I could still kind of be true to what I was already doing.
Right.
And then I added the pictures instead.
Mm-hmm.
So, because the first book didn't have pictures, it was just all orange. So I said, well, if I'm going to get rid of some of this orange, then I want to add something else instead. That's when the visuals start coming into place and the pictures and just doing the first chapter. I'm not going to lie, with Chevy book, I'm thinking about going back to orange. I'm just going to say, I'm thinking about giving him all orange. I'm not gonna lie. I'm debating with it. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I'm thinking about doing all orange. But because his book is much longer, so y'all gonna have time to rub your feet together and snuggle in your bed. It won't end so good. It's so fast. I don't know if I want to hold that orange that long to really mess with my eyes. But his book is much longer.
Okay, so we got the orange out the way, people. Okay, it's done.
Right.
It's
And
been
it's my
addressed.
brand now, so like now it's stuck with me. Like I don't think that anything that I do after this, people probably will always see orange around. It will be like a halo for me. So
Right. And I love that you explained and you gave a description of what orange represents. I love that because that's what it
yes.
represents for me. It's light, it's fullness, it's bright, it's energy. And
And
that's what
Chevy
I
actually explains it in his book. So you kind of get a full circle of the color orange. He tells you, and it's also transformation, which is a big thing, something that all of them has been going through in their lives. So yeah.
so can I just say it one time? We don't fuck with you, but we fuck with the zoo. First of all,
Period.
point blank. I was like, hold on, we do? What?
Oh,
What?
I am weak.
So yeah, so that I love that. The second thing is in this last book in Zootopia, the text messages sent me to orbit.
Oh, we can't do a book without
I
the text
love
thread. That's my favorite because I'm really just open in when I'm just like creating that. I love the text thread. I was just telling somebody like it's the text thread is in Chevy's book too, so you get that in his book
I love it because it was like my day ones and they be talking big shit.
all the time. Especially Diamond. Diamond is gonna show out. He don't care. Diamond's gonna say what he got to say. Period.
And I
Whether you
love
like
and
it or not.
oh and I love the DMs between
Oh, my Orchagram
Geos.
app. Yeah,
Listen,
listen, when I make those like with the text threads and like the Instagram app, like I literally put piece by piece together. I'm literally building that. It's not a sometimes they have like the stock where you kind of do it. No, I have to build that and create each thing. So when I'm making these visuals for these books, like text messages and Instagram app and stuff like that, it's literally taking me time. Like I be sitting at the computer for hours, y'all. Hours, hours.
I love it. When I tell you I so appreciate it, I'm not one of those people that be like, ugh, ooh, mm-mm. When an author puts some time and energy behind something and try and give you something different, other than just the words on the page, it's to be applauded. And I think sometimes we are so mean because they're so used to everything being away. They're not open. I'm gonna need some of y'all to open up your minds, open up your thought process because when I tell you this was genius, you
Yeah,
ain't find this in no other book.
at all. You're not gonna find it in anything else, and just kind of going for it's like my staple. It's something that I'm gonna stick to. I enjoy creating. I love doing the visuals. So the visuals that I do get made, my friend she makes them, but they're curated to the things that I want. That's why you see like the orange balloons and like I'm literally telling her. I be challenging her. She be over me. She be like, "What you want now? Like, what is it that you then came up with now? Like." And I'm like, "Look, I want this and this. If you can do this, like, even with Chevy Book, y'all see, baby, I'm going all
I
in
can't
for
wait
him.
to tell
It's
you that.
it's it's a big deal.
What inquiring minds want to know when is Chevy dropping?
I knew it was coming. I told my sister, watch. She gonna ask me
Oh, I
when
am.
it's coming. It's gonna be there this month. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause I don't even need to
I don't need a,
harass her.
I don't need the date. I lightweight voting the week, but I'm okay with it's coming this month. I'm
You,
okay with
it'll
that.
be it'll be to y'all before this month is out. I promise.
Okay. I'm excited. Look,
Yes,
look, look,
he'll be
look.
there.
Look like I'm a kid in the
Look at
candy
them in the
store.
comments. I'm weak. They love Chevy. It's so crazy because I, when I wrote this story, I, first of all, Chevy was already in the works. He was the first person. But because when I started writing his book back in August, I had introduced this like little crew. And I was like, if I introduce all these people in this book, they're gonna be like, who is that? Who is this? Who is that? That's how I end up separating them. And they end up getting their own book. But as I started writing the story, and then the girls was just, oh, I love Foe. I just knew Foe was just like highly anticipated. But as the story went on, when I tell you Chevy is just like he has the pressure on my neck, 1,000 pounds of pressure on my neck. Chevy has definitely put it
Because
there.
his story started from the beginning and is still continuing in each person's story. So yes,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yes, it
Yes.
is. Woo, child.
So okay. So who was the easiest care? Okay, so I know. Hold on. Before we even start that, you're getting a lot of people have eyes on you now because of the Zoo Boys. How is that feeling for you?
I'm just regular, y'all. But no, but it's a good feeling. It has its good things and its bad things. So I will say, for me, because I have been out since 2016 and I've gone a long time without being seen, and then boom, the Zoo Boys happened, and it's just like a light switch flipped overnight. I'm still learning because there are things that I do see that I be wanting, but I have to, you know what I'm saying? But it is good because now it's more so you're seeing my work versus versus um me being cherry picked because I'm already popular. You know what I'm saying? Like you see my work, you like my writing, you like my writing so much you didn't went and read my whole catalog. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Oh, thank you guys. It's a good feeling. I can't lie.
Girl, so let's okay. Okay, let me just say my favorites. So I want to
Okay.
go to Diamond Land. I was nasty because I wanted him to. Yeah, I was nasty because that whole little trigger warning, that whole little don't tell nobody.
Yes, for Diamond
But
Land.
honey, baby, I was like, wait a minute, I'm about to take a break. Hold on, let me go in this bedroom for a minute.
I love you, silly. I'm weak. I love Diamond Land.
But wait, but then that hood spicy said have my ass like, yes, where he at?
Yes. He
Oh
climbed through the
my God.
window.
I love pho. Pho is probably my favorite.
I get that a lot. But I knew Foe was going Foe had already set the tone in book one. He already set the tone in that book. So I already knew that he was going to be one of the top three that was going to be like, I need more about him. I need more about him. And first Chevy started off rocky. People were like, he's hiding secrets, la 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 la. But the more I got to writing about the little, sprinkles I was putting throughout each of the books, it's just like it just grew and grew. But Foe, I knew Foe off the rip. After that book one and I started seeing the feedback, I already knew that he was gonna be literally at the top.
Pho. He said
Yeah.
he about
I
to
love
just
Foe.
know that
Miles.
Tristan Bagels, the girl. Okay. But
Miles.
Zeus, he surprised me.
The most hated, that's what I call him.
But
He
not
was the most
anymore.
hated.
He
And
was.
some people like, I still don't like him. I'm like, you just don't like him because you just don't want to like him at this point. But I didn't write the book to get people to like him. I wrote his story to get people to understand him. Because technically, if you really look at it, book one was really about Zoo. You know what I'm saying? So when I wrote this story, it was more so to give people insight on how Zoo is, why he the way he is. You know what I'm saying? Because from the perspective up into his book was more so oh he got these girls and he a hoe and he be gambling when in fact he was really chasing after Dio. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to be a daddy to Dio, but he's also not trying to be his daddy. He's trying to give him space. So that is Marley's man. Somebody said Marley's man. One of my girls in the Discord, she loves him. She been thinking about him since and would not
Now,
let up.
I was like, because I was on the fence with Zeus. I was like, okay, well, we gonna see, because he gonna have a story. Okay, all right. And then Sasha, when I tell you that damn motorcycle scene was sexy and excuse my language, fuck,
Oh,
ma'am.
which one? Which one? The one in a tattoo
In
shop
the
or tattoo shop? The Orange Slice Special. Yeah, that's something that both of them. When I did that scene, it was because it was something that both of them were passionate about. They're both passionate about writing. You know what I mean? So why not use something that they're both passionate about? In my mind, when I was making that scene, to use it as, you know, the Orange Light
I was
special.
like, all right, girl. I was like, all right, but
Yeah.
Zeus and Sasha,
Yeah.
aka Freckles.
Period.
Um, the whole love and basketball moment. Let me put you
Let me tell you
on.
something. People
Let
were
me
telling
ride.
me, people were telling me about that, and I have not seen that movie. And so when they were, yes, so when they were
You get
telling
your
me
car
about it,
taken.
when they was, look, I seen all the other ones, but when they was telling me about it, I was like, "What are you talking about?" So one of the girls made a video with the little scene, and I was like, my husband, he's seen it plenty of times, but I just never sat down and watched the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like I might have seen like little snippets here and there, but I never watched it. So when they told me, they was like, "That's exactly what it reminded me of." Play for my heart. I was like, "Oh God, oh well, there you go. You got Love and Basketball in there. Don't Tati me. I haven't seen it. Don't judge me. Judge your bye bye."
First of all, I was like, okay, listen, you getting your car taken, but you redeemed it because you wrote this amazing series.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh, somebody said
amazing.
I can't wait for the King's Orange Light special. I know y'all can't. I know y'all can't.
So Chevy's gonna Chevy gonna be a little thicker.
Chevy is gonna be, yeah. Unfortunately, it is because you got to think about it. He's going to. I don't, and I know you be busy, so I did a promo where I show like the map because he's traveling. So Chevy is hitting 8 states. I think it's 8 states, three, 7 or 8 states. So I'm just kind of showing like where they're traveling to. And as he's traveling to these states, things are happening in these states. So I didn't want to just, oh, we went to this state, and then this happened. It just like kind of like skimmed through it. I wanted to immerse in each place that they stopped. You know what I'm saying? What are they going through? What are they feeling? What experiences is taking place? So that's why his book is a little bit longer. So they're going all the way to Tucson. Somebody just asked me where Tucson is. It is my own place I made up because at some point all of my books going forward, including the Zoo Boys, the next chapter, because we already know I have more guys and Freckles people. Everything will take place in Tucson. I just wanted to not talk about the same state, same place over and over again. So I created my own place, and so that's why they're traveling there, and then everything is going to take place there. I'm just going to world build there. So it'll be a
How
time.
how excited are you to be collabing with Jacquel J?
I'm super excited. I'm super excited. I'm collabing with my good sis. So we got some stuff cooking up.
First of all, don't have me. Don't listen. You know the girls. Okay, we already be in an uproar. You
We got
already
some
know.
stuff cooking up. We send a DO off. We know DO is DO. So and then the IG's got their thing going on out there already. It's gonna be a
So
time.
are they beefing? Can you tell us that? Are they beefing or are they
No,
good?
they're not beefing because they're family. So um Zoo and Dio is related to Yasin. So they're not beefing, but
Okay.
we just all gonna blame Dio. We just gonna say that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna blame Dio. But I'm excited about it. Yeah, I'm
Listen, you
excited
got
about
the
it.
people putting tattoos on their bodies. You got people. We don't fuck with you. We fuck with the zoo on their
Listen,
bodies.
that saying, I when I put that in the book, it wasn't even in my mind when I put it in there. I was just like, I want to see if I do like a saying, if it's something that people would catch on to. It really wasn't intended for it to be like what it is now. Like now, that's just what it is. But um, when I put that in there, I was not expecting for the outcome to be this is something that everybody will chant every 2 minutes. But I love it. Like I don't complain about it. I love it. I love it.
I so appreciate you. writing this series. I can't wait for Chevy's book. And then, is it gonna be like a new title when the new Zoo Boys? I mean, well, not the new ones, but the newer characters when they come, or is it still gonna be
Hmm.
Zoo Boys?
They're still gonna be it's still gonna be Zoo Boys, but they will have their own title. It's three of them. So I did say it in who book was it? It was Zoo's book. So three of them are brothers. It's three of them, they're brothers. So I don't know if they will each get their own story. They might have one book for all three of them because they are brothers. Um, I introduced Soho, so yeah, we're gonna see. It's gonna be a lot of stuff because when you get to Chevy's book, and of course, um, him getting there, Zoo does, he gets to see Sasha again because she's got to go back. And yeah, they got to meet the guys. And Zoo didn't already put the pause on Soho, so how is that going to work out? You know what I mean? It's just a lot of,
Hands and feet.
listen, it's a lot of stuff going on.
Stop
It's a
playing with
lot
me about Sasha. He
at
said, "So
all.
you all ready?" Wait a minute. Hold on.
Listen, he's gonna give her another warning. He's gonna give her one more warning. Like whatever you got, you need to wrap it up before I get there. Like you need to wrap it up because if I
But
get
you gave
there,
us,
I'm telling you,
but you did give us a little Easter egg. I
yeah,
felt
I
like
just
you gave
told
us a little
you,
Easter egg
I
about that
did.
ex-boyfriend.
You gotta
Yeah, I
wrap
be
that
paying
up.
attention.
Yes.
I be
So
paying
it's gonna be a
attention.
time. It's gonna
All
be a
right,
time.
so out of the Zoo Boys, who is your book husband, your book boyfriend, and who you sliding with?
What do you mean sliding with?
You know, your little friend, your little thing, little something do.
So for me, my top three of them, of course, my number one is Chevy. That's
So he's your husband.
they saying it in the comments. They already know. Chevy is the top. He's the
Okay.
top. I would say Faux, then Diamond. No, 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 not Diamond, because Diamond be getting on my nerves sometimes. Faux, then Zoo. Diamond be getting on my nerves sometimes. He be playing too much, and I can't take it.
So I'm gonna say out of the Zoo Boys, I'm gonna say Fo is my book husband.
Oh Lord, these faux girls.
It is what it is. He said I like that hood shifty shit. So who do? I would say Fo is my husband. I'm gonna say my book boyfriend is probably Chevy.
hmm
And I'm sliding with Zeus.
Yes, come on.
Because he nasty.
Yeah, I think those that I don't know. We'll see. I want to see if any of the faux people change their mind after reading Chevy.
Probably. But you know what? I'm going to tell y'all right now. I reserve the right to change my mind. I reserve this, and I'm a woman, and I reserve the right to change my mind. It might change before this interview is over with. So just know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We'll see.
So that's
We'll
I, that's interesting. That's interesting. Um, which character is most like you?
I was gonna let my disc girl girlies answer Chevy
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
For Chevy with a sprinkle of diamond because
So you thinking?
well, minus that part. Minus that part. But Chevy with a sprinkle of diamond as far as like the goofiness, the jokes and stuff like that. But for sure Chevy. And sometimes I'll be having to remind people when they be getting smart. Like y'all forgot I'm the writer behind Chevy. Those slick comments he be making, that's me. Like, you know what I mean? But for sure, Chevy and then sprinkle with a little diamond.
Okay. Um, is
I'm
it
weak.
is it pressure to Now that, do you feel more pressure now that you have this best-selling series? You collaborate
Absolutely.
with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel 1,000 pounds of pressure.
Really?
Yes. Yes. I am. It's always me versus me. I will like, so for Diamond's book, I will say Diamond's book, when I wrote Diamond's book, I probably broke down like 15, 20 times. Like I was like, because as each book came, as each book dropped, it's like it just got better and better, and then the more people came, and then more people came. So now I'm at Chevy's book, and it's like everybody and their mama here, everybody. Matter of fact, right before I got on this interview, I was talking to my sister. All my family's in California. I live somewhere else. My sister called me because my aunt, her friends read, and they were calling my aunt to figure out when I'm dropping Chevy's book. Like, how is that? Like, it's crazy. And they're telling her her books are so good, and she just needs to hurry up and drop it. Can you find out when she's dropping it? And she needs to drop another book every other month. Like, it's like crazy. And I'm like, what? Like, she literally called me to tell me that. That was so crazy to me. That was mind blowing. Like right before I got on the call with you.
Do
That
you
is
ever just,
crazy.
are you ever surprised by yourself in your writing journey?
Yes, all the time, all the time, all the all the time. Just like with I love using Diamond because that last part of his book, the letter, um, it just came to me. Like I was like, what if I do? Since I'm already in the storyline, what if I like did this letter like she's writing to a little kid, like you know what I'm saying? Like she's writing to the young Diamond, to the kid Diamond. But I'm always surprised. Sometimes what y'all think is great, I think is mediocre. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they be like, "Oh, this is so good," and I'm just like, "Okay." I don't know. I'm just super super humble, and I like writing. I like telling stories. Um, and the deeper I get, the deeper the story gets. So that's how Zoo's story became what it was, because I started off with Preacher. To me, Preachers was like, dealing with his daddy and stuff. Then Diamond, not really knowing who he is. Then we got into Foe with his mama. And then his daddy just popped up out the blue. And now we're getting into Zoo. Now we're starting to tackle mental health and, unaliving yourself and stuff like that. So we're getting like, I just get deep. And once I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone. Like, I'm like in there, but it takes me a minute to get there because like the first part of the book is always the hardest to me, and the last part of the book is always the hardest because the first part is to capture you, the last part is to be impactful. So those two, once I'm in the middle, I'm good. But once I start and I get to the end, I am like fighting myself. But I'd be surprised, and when people tell me how they feel when they read it, um, when I hear that my pen has not changed somebody, but made them feel some kind of way or they can relate, that makes me feel really, really good. It really does,
Wow.
baby.
Wow.
No, my dog trying to get over here. Oh, you got a dog, huh? Yeah, I got a Frenchie, and he is like dying to get in the camera. Like, get out of the way.
I miss my
But
dog.
oh yeah, you are traveling. I forgot.
I'm
But you
in
do be
San
passing out.
Diego. And
Oh, full term.
girl, I wish I could, but Skittles has let me know that he is upset with me.
Oh, poor
Okay,
Pimpin. He probably miss you. He misses you.
he was like, "Rawr." Okay. So I was looking into your catalog.
hmm
Where, if someone is new to you, where would you want them to start?
Um, I would tell them to start with my very first series, Caught Up in This Game, only because you can see as you go through my catalog, you will see the writing, how it changes, how it gets better. Even with the storylines, you know what I'm saying? How the storylines changes, but I will always say start at the beginning. I mean, now if you don't like it, that's fine. You could just go to something else. But this way, you can see how I've grown over time, just with my stories. And I am a series girly, so most of my books are series. Matter of fact, all of them
What book or which series you wish had more light on it that you wish people would read more?
are. It's really, I would say the book, not even because it can be its own book, but Chasing Coffee. That one is like that's the one that I feel like needs more light on it. I just knew when I wrote it, it was just gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be a thing, and it's gonna blow up and everything. And then to my surprise, the Zoo Boys is what really blew up. But Chasing Coffee, I feel like it is like I would consider it like a romance erotica, pretty much. But it is a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story.
So, if you could, what genre that you haven't written that you do want to try?
Um, I want to try dark romance.
I think you could do it.
I really want to try dark romance so bad. I do.
Are you
And
talking introductory or are we talking pitch black or middle grade?
I want to go as dark as I can get. But that's because I would like to challenge myself. But I definitely want to try dark romance. It's like one of the things I want to try, and then I want to try historical fiction
Okay,
because
okay.
That's my favorite genre, historical fiction.
Really?
Yes.
Who's your favorite author?
Donald Goins. I love Donald. I will read his books 90 on North like nonstop. I think I done read Dope Thing like I read that. I probably read that like two, three times a year. But only thing is when I'm writing, I do not read.
You don't have time to read because you got Chevy's
Yeah.
story coming up. You got
Listen,
Mozu Boys. You got listen. You
even
got
if I
crossover
didn't,
story.
even if I didn't, I do not read, and I do not read for the simple fact that I don't want to read in my ideas what I like, or if I'm reading something, and it might not be on purpose, but then I start writing a book, and then now it's starting to sound similar to somebody else's book. So I don't read. I don't. I haven't read in over a year. So I just don't read when I write. I like my ideas to be fresh, a little different. You know what I'm saying? So I know I can't say that. Oh, well, I read such a book. Then you read my book now, sounding like what you done read two. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 2 3 months ago. But I don't have time to write. I don't have time to read, even if I wanted to. I really don't. I don't have time for that. I don't. I get asked about merch. I get asked about all of these different things, and I have been so focused on writing these stories that I haven't even taken time to do those things.
You
So
do
for
know that
me,
there are PR companies that will help you with that.
yeah, I know. Well, now I know that, but
I'm talking about
when
like Pretty Girl Reads.
I'm with Pretty Girl Week.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm with Pretty Girl Week. But before that, yeah, I was just pecking at the keyboard. That's all I was doing. Pecking, getting them out, pecking, getting them
'Cause,
out.
you know, we look. I'm looking for a book box. Cause
That's
I need the whole shebang. I need all the Zoo Boys, all of
They're coming. They're coming. It's
them.
coming. Trust me, I've been asked. And I'm one of
But I
those
want
people
the
that's like
original
weird.
cover.
Like
I
I
don't
gotta
want no new
see it.
cover.
Huh?
I want the original cover. I don't want no new cover. I like the
You
original
don't
covers.
you don't want no new cover.
Mm-mm.
I made those covers. Every last one of them.
And that's what I want.
Yeah, I made those.
So
Oh,
just
that's
let
my
me know. um. So let's get into some questions about you because while we love the Zoo Boys and some of your older work, I want people to know who you are and they'll get down. Is that cool?
sure.
All right. Um, describe yourself in one word.
Complex.
Okay. Um, Define success and have you reached it? Your terms, not society's terms.
Mm. I would say for me, that would be genuinely happy because even where I'm at now, and I'm not even at the damn top, but I'm pretty much up there. It's nothing if you're not happy. He's fine. Um, if you're not happy. So for me, success is happiness, being happy. I mean, the money gonna always be in it, you know what I'm saying? But truly, just for me, just like being happy. So to me, that's what success. That's what I look at it as. Because
Okay.
who wants to walk around mad and sad all the time?
That part
That's
right there.
lame. Because you can have a lot of money, but you can still have attitude. You know what I'm saying? You could
Right.
be on TV screen and all of that, but you can still be sad. You know what I'm saying? You're not full. I want to be happy and full. So that's success to me.
Okay. Okay. Um, what's the most important part of um writing a book for you?
Um, I would say, oh, that's a good question. I would say for me, being able to put something down that can be relatable yet interesting. So, sometimes, and I don't read, so I'm not gonna really say sometimes, but there may be instances where you read a book that's really like heavy, but there's no fluff around the heaviness it's like, oh God, like Jesus, I just had a stressful day and now I'm reading this. Like, I want it to be where it is still real life, but it is still fluff around it that it doesn't feel so heavy. Because
Right.
I could talk about some heavy stuff, yo. That Park Psycho series is very heavy, but just being able to provide uh, a relatable experience, but a good one. That's like my biggest thing when I sit down and write. Like before I even start, first of all, before I even start writing, I pray over my writing anytime because I'm just not about to go in head first. But that's what I do.
Okay. What do you love about being an author and what do you hate about it?
Ooh, I love when the readers um are just like smiles, not even just smiles, but they're like happy, like, oh, I love this book. Like, I like that. It's not to gloat, it's not to, you know, saying like, what's the word? I'm looking for a word, but
Is it a confidence booster?
a little bit, just a
It,
little
it,
bit.
it helps you, okay, it's building my confidence and that I can continue on this journey.
A little bit, because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be battling with myself. So just a little bit for me, because even though I'm seeing it and I'm smiling and I'm just like, people finally see my writing for what it is, because that's what I really look at. Like, I don't ask for um, people to give me kudos just because you know me. Like, no, if you read my book and you don't like it, you know what I'm saying, say something or leave a review. But to be seen for the work that I put in is a good feeling. Um, so I would say I like that part about it. What I don't like about it, I don't know why you asked me this question. What I don't like about it is sometimes people that do not write and they do not understand, they just say stuff. But if us authors say how we felt about some things, then we will be getting stones thrown at us. So I'm just gonna leave that at that.
Listen, because I done been on this internet a few times telling people about themselves. Not the authors. I'm talking about
Yes,
these
and
readers.
they
Because I'm
don't care. And then if you say something as an author, if you say something, then it's like, oh, she got an attitude, and this is what she doing. So you gotta, this is what you chose to do. So you already know this was coming with it. Like, again, I'm still learning now. But I digress.
Okay. What does support look like for you at home?
Um, so I would say for me, my husband, he's sitting right here right now, but he'll be like, "You want me to get the dogs? Is there anything I could do?" Like, especially when I'm writing, like even with Chevy's book, because he knows how much pressure it is, or at least I feel for it. You know what I mean? He's always trying to find a way to, all right, you need me to do this? You need me to do that? So I mean, it's cool. My brother, my baby brother, he also lives where I am. So um, he always, oh, well, did you write today? Did you do it today? He'll text me. So I got it. That I do got. That I definitely got. So I appreciate it.
Oh, because not everybody has that. And to see that your family will support you, because sometimes people are like, well, I can't find support at home, so I found it, outside of my home, and this is how I had to do it.
Yeah,
I love that. I
yeah.
love that because you know that's 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 what it's about for me because y'all a
Listen.
team. And he's like, okay, well, if this is gonna help her realize her dreams, then let me go take this dog outside.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Listen, please get him. Take him in a room. He will. He'll take the dogs real fast. So he'll be like, because my small dog, like I said, he's a Frenchie, and he is super clingy, like super clingy. So if he goes with me when if I'm in a space where I'm writing and I leave him unattended, like I'm not, you know, rubbing on him or something, he will come over there and bug me. Like he'd be jumping on my leg and like he just be doing too
Pay
much. My
attention to
husband will take him
me.
to the back.
And right
Yes,
now,
yes. My husband will take him to the back real fast.
that is funny. So, what are three things you have to have when you're writing?
Music, coffee. That's it, really.
What kind of music?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. You see, oh, I don't know if you see my playlist, but my music is key. I have, if for any reason, if my Apple Pay is not paid, and I will lose my mind. I will be so fast to try to get this, so fast to try to get my Apple Pay paid. But music is how I write. I cannot write without my music. It's imperative. It's like the number one thing on my list. But I listen to everything. So I can tell you like prime example, like even with Chevy's playlist, it has some Smokey Robinson on there.
Ooh,
Yes. It has some Nina Simone on there. Um, it has some newer stuff on there. It has a lot of artists that hasn't been heard. I love new artists. If I can find some new artists and music, so I listen to everything. I really love oldies. That's like my favorite. I
mm-hmm.
love oldies. This is only because my mom played it so much, but I listen to a little bit of everything. But music is the number one thing I have to have without a doubt. Somebody said the
Okay.
playlists are always fire. I'm telling you, because it's how I curate my scenes. Like, you know what I mean? So when I'm writing a scene, I will listen to a song on repeat probably 100 times just to get through my scene because the way I write, and I'm just speaking for myself, the way I write, if that scene does not play in my head, if I can't physically see it in my head, if I cannot envision it happening, then it will not be written. So a lot of the times when people read my books, they're like, "Man, I can see it in my head," because that's how I write it. I write it how I see it. Like it's like literally like a TV show in my head.
Are the characters talking to you like they talk to everybody else?
Yes. And sometimes if I'm writing something else, want to be talking. So just prime example, when I was doing Zoo's book, Chevy was just talking, talking, talking. That's how he got his scene at the end. Like that
First of
scene at
all,
the end.
don't talk about that scene at the end, because girl, what I tell you, I was sliding down a wall of seven. Listen, don't talk to me when they was crying.
Yes.
You talk about some tears coming. I told you I had shed a
Listen.
few tears. No, but for real, I was for real crying.
That so sometimes that happens to me. So like if I'm writing, so like with that scene, I had to take a break. Like I had to stop, do something else, and then go back to it. Because with all my books, even down to Chevy's book, I already know how I want the book to end, like where I'm going to end it or what I'm going to do. It's just me getting everything up until that point. But that scene, and then the scene when Zoo was at the cemetery, those two scenes, I had to take breaks on. But that last scene, yeah, I had to stop and say, okay, I'm going to come back. Just give me a minute. I'm going to come back. And then I went back and I finished it up. But yeah, I had to pause.
What are the ingredients to the best to your characters? What is the main ingredient for you? What does it look like?
What you mean?
So when you're creating Chevy, when you're creating Zeus, what is the main ingredient that what are the main ingredients to make a good character?
Oh, shit. For me, I'm trying to think because what I thought was great ingredients, like oh, what this person is wearing, what they look like all the time, you know. For me, I would say their dialogue, like how they talk, because that's what for Chevy and Diamond, that's what won people over, how they talk, preach. Definitely their dialogue. Um, whatever their attributes are. Um, I think those would be two things, and then I just build around that. So like I build. So when I created Chevy, I built. That's what I built around. So really around what his attitude is gonna be like, how he gonna be talking, and then once I curated that, oh okay, now I know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna build this man around those two things. That's really how I did all of them for real. Now how the hell I'm able to keep them separate when I'm in one scene, I don't know, but
That's what I be wondering.
it is hard because you want them to be their authentic self. So like when I have scenes like when they're in the zoo and they're all in there, I have to be focused because now I can't do a preach move on Diamond, you know what I mean? So keeping them separate and keeping their personalities separate throughout this entire series has been very challenging, but I'm happy that I've been able to do it. But yeah, somebody said Miss Tatiana.
Miss Mellow Yellow. She said, "Love me some
Hi.
Chevy."
Listen.
um, can we talk character names?
Yeah.
How do you select? What is the process, man? Because Zeus and Dios have these god names. Chevy has a car name. Diamond is shining.
If I tell y'all how I got these names, y'all will be laughing at me. First of
Well,
all,
come on, tell us so we can crack up.
Diamond name came from a old. So when I was back home in California, one of my mom's friends' daughter had a son, and she named him Diamond. And I was like, "You don't name your son Diamond?" And she was like, "Yeah, what's wrong with that?" Okay. So with her son, he's light skinned, cute little handsome little boy. You know what I'm saying? He was handsome. So when I did this and I need a name, I'm like, I'm gonna name him Diamond because he looked like he reminded me of Diamond. That like that's how I got named Zaria. Zaria is actually um Zaria is actually my cousin's daughter's name. It's just Azaria. She has an A in front of it. But I've always loved that name. So I was like, I'm gonna use Zaria. Period.
Mm.
Chevy. Chevy came from my husband Caprice. He has a Chevy Caprice. So that's where that came from. But his real name is June. And that pretty much came from this artist, Larry June. Larry June, and he's into like juicing and all of that stuff. That's how I came up with that. Faux, I just said faux. I'm not gonna. It was the pew pew, but instead he just putting like You know what I'm saying? The whole thing. I'm just like, we're gonna cut it like black folk. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Um, and Zeus was easy. I just like I'm gonna call him Zoo because initially when I first started writing it, it was both of them, Zoo and Chevy. They were supposed to be equal in their role. But as I started writing, it just didn't happen that way. So that's why his name was Zoo. That's why well it was short for for the zoo. But then when I started writing and then I introduced his brother Dio, and then I'm always gonna research because y'all ain't gonna get no, y'all ain't gonna catch me like girl, because this ain't no research. That's how I got him and his brother name. I was like, cool. And then the fact that Zeus basically played the role of his father in the Greek world, Dio was his son. So um, when I started writing, I was like, you know what? So what I'll do since their father is not here, this will be perfect. It just meshed out well. So in reality, Zeus was like his daddy, even though he wasn't his dad. So who else? Preach, preach, because he was into church, but his real name is Prentice. That's actually my cousin's name, Prentice.
I
So
have a cousin named
listen,
Prince too.
listen. If I run out of names, I'm gonna start using some of these family names out here. And because my family names are so different, it works out perfectly. But even though I do pick these names, when I'm writing my character, it has to fit. So if it doesn't fit, I will change it. I will definitely change the names. But all five of them, to me, their names fit them perfectly. And then as I started to write them, it really, really grew on me. So yeah. Oh, thank you for the gifts. Um, yeah, that's how I came up with their names.
So the book titles. How did you come up with the book titles? How did you even come up with the damn Zoo Boys? How did that happen?
So when I wrote, I have another series, which is Parkside Cove. When I wrote that series, one of the characters in the series, I might as well just say it now since we up here, but one of the characters in the series had this son that they had to give up for adoption. So once I ended the series, I was like, you know what? Because I brought up that I'm going to talk about her son. It was supposed to be a standalone because I wanted to try to do a standalone. I wanted to do a standalone because everybody kept saying, I can't do series. So I said, well, I'm going to try to do a standalone for real, for real. It can be tied to the book, but you don't have to read that series in order to read the standalone. And in August, I started to write Chevy's book. I had already started it. If you actually go through my page, you will see an older cover that I had for him. I had started to write the series, and so I was like, I'm gonna make him part of this motorcycle club that he had like beef with his like. I just like had this whole idea. I just knew I was just doing something. But then one thing I learned about writing, when you're introducing characters, especially people that are going to be talking throughout the book, people gonna want to know who they is. Like, who is this person? Like, you just bring this person up. You know what I'm saying? So when I brought it up, he was already a part of like the Zoo Boys. But then I was like, I just can't bring all these people. It was a lot of people, a lot. So I said, okay, I'm gonna introduce these guys, um, and then that way they'll already know who they is. And when I do the book, then I ain't gotta re-explain. You know what I'm saying? Like they seen the pictures. So when I picked them out, I picked all of them out, and I went through hundreds of pictures because I'm very, very picky. I am very picky. And then I did the first introduction. When I said that she blew up, I was like, what the? And so my best friend was like, "You gonna have to do a book on each one of them. If you got them, they're coming to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I wasn't getting the views. Like, I got a few of them, but not a lot. And she told me she was like, "You gonna have to do a book on all of them." And I'm like, five books. And she was like, "No, what I'll do is the introduction." She actually gave me the idea, so I was like, "Okay." So that's when I did Zoo Boy, the first introduction, and it just went from there. And when I say this series has completely challenged me because y'all know that with the Zoo Boy series, it is a ongoing story. So a lot of people when they see the cover, like they're just now being introduced to it, they're like, "Oh, do I have to read this book first?" Yes. You got to read it. Even though it's their own, they have their own books. It's still one full story. And do you know how
Mhm.
hard it is to keep up with a story through 5 books, like the same storyline, but giving everybody something separate at the same time? It's just so much. It's a lot.
But I like that out of each book, each of the guys found love.
hmm I had to add some romance in there because you know the girls ain't gonna be like, "Hey, where's the romance?" And
You had
I
a
got
little
a lot of
spice in
backlash.
there as well.
I got backlash on that too. I got a lot of backlash on that too, on how the girls were acting for them. They're like, these girls are so dumb. These girls are just so stupid. And I'm like, you guys are missing the whole point of this story. This story is really not about the girls. The story is about the brotherhood. The girls are just added in there so y'all can have a little romance, in the book. But I got backlash on that. And in my perspective, and this is just how I feel about it, I feel like if we can read millions of books about dudes being unhinged and doing crazy stuff for the women and popping out of here and popping out of there, why can't the women do it for the men? Because that's all you see. That's basically, it's the same thing. It's just the girls are doing what the guys do of all the books that you've read. Like Lola popping out the bush, Mo, head gone. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same
Ooh, she
thing. It's
was
just
that shit ass crazy.
Mo was not letting go. Listen, somebody said, why is she still lasting in this book so long? Like, but I just wanted to show what it's like when women get the effect. You know what I'm saying? Of what we normally read about the men doing. So it's my guys are the star of the show. It's not really the women. But yeah, the romance thing came in and here we are with the Zaria and Chevy. Here we are.
I can't wait.
They are the hardest to write out of all the couples I did. I will say that.
What's the one thing that you will always include in your books?
What you mean? Oh, my quote. That is automatic. My quote, you see that in every single one of my books, even my old books that I came out with in 2016. Every woman wants the perfect man, even if she falls in love in the book. That is my quote. It is in every single book that I write and will always be in every single book that I
Okay, okay. Um, what would your readers be shocked to know about you?
write. Girl, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question because I really don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Let me ask my husband. She said, "What would my readers be shocked to know about me?" Oh, I'm afraid of balloons.
I know you.
I am
Really?
I am terrified of balloons.
Why?
My husband said I thought she was lying too. No, I'm terrified of balloons.
But why? What is it with the balloons?
It's the noise, and don't let me be around a kid with one because I'm about to be gone. Because they
I'm
just
not
be
laughing at
screaming and
you.
screaming. No, you fine, but yes, I am terrified of balloons. Terrified. I will cry. I will run. I'm not like it is bad. It's real bad. It's been that way since I was young, and it's so crazy because my mom was one of the moms that did like she would watch everybody's kids, so she would always like make up these games and stuff, and she'll be like, okay, she'll have like this balloon game, like you put the balloon under your shirt, and the first person to pop it win, and my silly tail sitting on the steps looking, but doing like this at the same time because I'm so scared. I'm so scared of the balloons, but yes, I am terrified of balloons. Somebody even told me because I'm doing the expo. Oh, you should have a balloon arch. I said, who having a balloon? What? No, ma'am.